Hi there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading. This is Yetta Pearl, and this is your general angel reading for the week of June 6th through 12th of 2022. Okay, so cards are just about all out, and okay, there we go. There we go. Got them out. That was pretty quick, right? Okay, so let's just see. All right, so let's start with the absolute reassurance. Relax, everything is okay. Okay. Now, you know what? You probably don't need to know anymore. That's all you need to know. Relax, everything is okay. The more you can trust that, the more that you can truly, just relax and go about your day and understand that everything is going to be just fine. And yes, things change. Yes, things evolve. Even the things that truly feel like an absolute calamity, it's happening on purpose. And we don't always know what the purpose is. We just know that it is happening within a grand design, right? That sometimes, somebody else in our life maybe is experiencing some pain and some suffering. Maybe it's yourself that's experiencing this pain and suffering. And we don't know why, but all we can do is trust that it's happening for the best reason possible. And if it's happening to somebody else, you don't know what their path is. You don't know what choices they've made for this lifetime, right? And so you just have to go with it and understand that everything is okay in the end. Okay. Now, most of this though is about you on your inner self. So you need to believe in yourself. And we're not even talking about being capable of doing tasks and having skills and things like that. This is your soul self, right? And that you deserve to be here, that you are essential, that you are this amazing person who deserves to get all the good stuff. Deserving. Believe in yourself. You are deserving. It's a basic lacking in confidence that you seem to be having. It's not just right now. You've had this probably lifelong. And somehow you got this idea, when you were younger. Maybe the adults around you were doing their best, but it wasn't very good. There's speaking personally, my best wasn't very good in a lot of times, right? But it was my best. But there would be people around me who I probably taught things to that I never could have foreseen that's what they learned from it. And so the same is probably true for you, that there's been people in your life who were doing their best, but they didn't do very good, and you learned things thinking that you were less than other people. And so now, as an adult, it's time to try and repair that and switch it, which is really hard. It is really hard, but you can do it. You talk to your angels. Give them these feelings of undeservingness. Give them these feelings of lack of worth and not believing in yourself. Hand it over and let in the opposite feelings of full deservingness. Of course I can have that and do that. And you bet I am essential in this world. That is absolute truth. And so it feels like if you could find somebody to do some energy clearing, some belief system changes, that kind of stuff with you, that would be really beneficial. Because there's something stuck kind of in solar plexus that I can feel that is kind of not fully letting this new belief take hold. the old one is still there fighting against it, right? So if you can get some assistance that way from a practitioner, that would be really, really helpful for you. Okay. All right. Do that. Do that. And you know what? Journal your way through it. Write down all the things that you're feeling, that you're changing, that you're experiencing, that you're uncertain about, that you're very certain about. Like, journal all that stuff. Because that's a really great way to track your progress. In in a year or even two, or whenever the time may be, when you look back on this, and you will go, oh my gosh, look at how far I've come. I forgot that I used to feel like that. I forgot that I used to be uncertain. Huh. So that it's a benefit to you to do that. Plus, I'm just being given the message that at some point, even though right now, when you're journaling, that it feels pretty private and you're not willingly sharing that. At some point, there will be at least one person who you will feel the urge to share this story, your story, with, and that will help them. So do journal and keep track of everything and how you're doing. Okay. Now, we were talking about parents or other adults in your life. They're absolutely saying they love you and they're sorry. Like, holy cow, I can feel this, it's regret, but it's grief that they caused you to feel less than within yourself. That was sure not their intention. Now, this is from parents both living and transitioned. I'm just feeling that across the board. And even the parents that you're thinking like, oh my God, like they hated having me, right? Because there are parents like that. We all know that. At their core, they wish they could have done better. Even if, like, you would never get them to admit that. It's still true. So you are absolutely loved. And you are absolutely solid and worthy of that love. Okay? And so, it's like not necessarily just from parents, but from some, like, it's like you're not acknowledging, you're not feeling, you're not allowing in that love. Open up and let that in. This is it's an old habit. You were, I don't know, like young, like a teenager maybe, and you learned to protect yourself and your heart from people who said they loved you, but it turned out they didn't really, or at least it wasn't the kind that you could resonate with. It wasn't the kind of love that was actually good for you, right? And so you learned then how to protect yourself. And a few people have wormed their way in since then, these very special people. But you can open now. You don't need to protect yourself the same as you used to feel the need to. Now it's just habit. So open and let that love from other people in, because you have so many people who love you, but you don't really acknowledge that. You feel unworthy. You feel like you don't deserve that love. But once you're changing these belief systems and you are starting to believe in yourself and you are feeling more worthy, then letting that love in is going to help that all build and be bigger and be better. You're this amazing magnet, and you don't seem to have a clue that you are. Now, some of you do actually, you acknowledge that a little bit, but it doesn't feel all that comfortable to you to be that person, to acknowledge that you are so magnetic that you draw people to you. and you're uncomfortable being that like center of attention kind of, and so you push it away from you. But the more you can open your heart and understand that these people are coming to you with love, then the more you can understand that it's a beautiful thing. It's not a center of attention kind of thing. It's a receiving and growing. Okay. All right. So here we have the daily guidance cards. We'll ask for one last bit of wisdom for you. Yes. Trustworthy guidance, right? So this, what you're hearing right now, you can trust this. And you can trust that, that you can open without risk to yourself. And so when you connect energetically with your guides, with your intuition, with source or universe or God or whatever your language is, you will get these same messages. And they're saying you're going to get the same messages over and over and over until you embrace them. So ignoring it won't work. or not believing it won't work. They're going to bombard you with this until you do believe it. Okay. There's something else too that you've been questioning that's been happening in your life, and you're kind of going, oh, is this a good thing or is that a good thing? Ask. And then see, what do you feel like? What are the messages you're receiving? Your gut feelings, your visions, your things you hear, the things you just know. What are those things? And you can trust that too. That is absolutely your guidance. Okay, well, Taurus, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you very much, and I love you, and I'll see you next time.